This is Dan and Lexi from Dan Schultz Outdoors, reminding you to keep the adventures alive. Hey y'all, I'm Johnny.
And I'm Colleen. And we're the Keel Quest. And we want you to keep the adventures alive. Cheers!
Hey, this is Darren from Ride Paddle Repeat, encouraging you to keep the adventures alive.
This is David from Beachley Ironworks saying keep the adventures alive.
Hey, Kevin with an A here. Keep the adventure alive.
Hi, I'm Dan Mayotte. Keep the adventures alive.
Hi, I'm Kevin Collin, the Happy Camper. Remember, keep the adventures alive. Awesome!
Woo, buddy! Shug here! Keep the adventures alive. I am.
Ethan here, the Avid Outdoorsy Guy, reminding you to keep the adventures alive.
We're John and Aaron.
Keep the adventures alive.
Hey everyone, it's Kylan from Lure of the North, and I encourage you to keep the adventures alive.
This is Sky North telling you, keep the adventures alive. And now on with the show.
Well, hello and happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Hope everybody's had a great week. My name is Dennis, also known as Canoe Hound, and welcome to another episode of Canoe Hound's Outdoor Adventure Show. This is episode number 92, man. We're closing in very quickly on hitting 100 episodes on the show itself. That'll happen sometime in March. So hope you guys can join us as we trudge along here and get ourselves to that 100 episode mark. If this is your first time to the show, thank you for popping in tonight. You're here for a very good show tonight. Many of you might be familiar with tonight's guests, and we will get on with that shortly. But you know what? If it's your first time here, just let it be known that we are here live every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the show runs for usually around 2 hours, sometimes a little more. Not very often less, but sometimes a little bit more. Sometimes we go into overtime. So hopefully you'll find a little value in the show and you'll stick around, maybe hit that subscribe button and help drive us up to the 5,000 subscriber mark, which would be totally awesome. Hopefully we can do that before the end of the month. Anyways, before we get on with tonight's topic, I just wanted to go through the regular things that I go through before or while the chat is populating over there. And I usually start out with a thanks to my sponsors. First, Algonquin Outfitters, good friends of ours up there in up around Algonquin Park. You know what? A great place if you ever need any great gear for your backcountry trips, or if you're going into the park and you need supplies, stop in to check out Algonquin Outfitters. You can find them online as well. They have a great store online that you could actually shop with, so be sure to check them out. Our good friends over at Kid Products, makers of the Kid Twig Stove and Reflector Oven. And you know what? Last week I mentioned that they come out with a new titanium pot. And somebody in the chat had mentioned that they couldn't find it on their website. Well, I was informed by them that it is now officially on their website. So check out Kid Products, KIHDproducts.com, and you'll find a new titanium pot that they have on there. And of course, check out their twig stoves and reflector ovens as well. 100 Harris paddles, makers of high quality canoe paddles. I always say that. I've got a couple of 100 Harris paddles, and it's always, when you get your new one, they're so beautiful, you don't want to put them in the water, but when you do put it in the water, you realize how nice they are. And the reason why Milan makes them by hand is to make sure that each one is honed down perfectly. So check them out at hunterandharris.com. And you know what? Look at me. I'm all garbed up here with my Novacraft canoe gear. Novacraft is now a proud channel supporter as well. Thank you very much to them for joining us. All these businesses that I'm talking about, you can find their links in the description below. Please do check them out. You know, they support the channel, and it's great to give them support as well. I've personally owned a Novacraft canoe for about the last 25 years. I've got a couple of canoes. One of them at this time is still a Novacraft canoe, and it's one of my favorites. It's a 16-foot portage or 16-foot prospector made in Royal Light. And you know what? The thing is, like, it's one tough bugger. So yeah, you know what? They make good canoes. By all means, check them out at Novacraft.com. Yeah, straight up. Also, our good friends over at Whitewater Coffee Crew. They were formerly known as the Backcountry Coffee Co. They just went through a rebranding. Same great coffee. They've added a few new styles of coffee, different roasts. Check them out at whitewatercrew.com. You can check them out and order some coffee, man. It's not very expensive, and it's really good stuff. Let's see. If you missed last week's show, last week we had a show that was on planning your 2022 camping trip. A lot of people thought it was a little bit early to actually have that, but you know what? We kind of proved them wrong. It's a good thing to get your plans for your canoe trips in the backcountry booked early so that you know what's going on, so you can book your time off of work. If you're reserving at a provincial park or something like that, you want to make sure you reserve early. So get your plans done. That way there, you're not going in blind. But if you want more information on that, you can check out the our playlist. You can look for that show in our season, our back show playlist. That's I just renamed the playlist, so I'm even confusing myself. But go back and check it out. You'll find that and many other great shows with different topics and different guests on the show. So make sure you check that out as well. Just a little spoiler alert. You know what? Last week I posted the second part of my Spanish River canoe trip, and that there went very, very well. So we got part 1 and part 2 out now. Part 3 is slated to launch on Thursday morning. So keep an eye open for that there. And here's a little bit of the thumbnail. This is what you're going to be looking for on Thursday morning. The West Spanish Forest Canoe Trip. Day 3, the Great Bog Monster. You might want to check this one out here. This is when the trip starts getting really hairy. And I'm not going to say anything more because you got to watch. Anyways, check it out Thursday morning. It will be live. Keep your notifications on. Hit the notification bell with your subscription below just in case. And then you'll get your notification that the show is up. Special thank you goes out to everyone who helps support Canoe Hounds Outdoor Adventure Show. Whether it's a super chat by hitting that little $sign down below there, maybe a channel membership, or buy me a coffee. To all of you that have done that, thank you very much. It doesn't go overlooked, believe me. And I just want to welcome a couple of our new channel members, In the Woods Crafting Mike, and also This Is the End. Thanks very much. If you haven't already done so, please drop me an email at canoehound@gmail.com. And that way there I can get your perks all started. And if anybody else cares to join tonight, just look for the little join button down below. And if you do join, make sure you drop me an email here at canoehound@gmail.com. And like I say, I like to get your membership perks going, and we start you off with your membership decals and stuff like that. So I'll leave this up on the screen for a few minutes for anybody that might need it. Let's see, upcoming shows. Be sure to tune in next week. We have from the UK, we have Ben Goodwin. Ben Goodwin, if you're not familiar with him, is basically he's like a Cliff Jacobson to the US and a Kevin Callan to Canada. Well, Ben Goodwin is that to the UK. Ben is a canoe tripper. He's an instructor, and he has a lot of things that he can share with us. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to have Ben up quite late because he is in the UK, and I believe Our 7 o'clock here is about midnight for them there. So he'll be like midnight till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So really looking forward to getting Ben Goodwin up here. And we're continuously working on bringing new content for you. If you have any ideas of guests that you'd like to see on the show, once again, drop me an email here at canoehound@gmail.com. We'll do our darndest to make it happen. Might be a show. You never know. That might lead us up to our 100th episode in March. So by all means, please reach out. And you know what? There's not much more except to say that if you have any questions for tonight's guest, please do put it in the comment section over there. But put the word question before it so it makes it easier for me to identify. I'm a one-man show. If I miss it, I apologize. Feel free to post it again later on throughout the show. But if I'll do my darndest to get it up here on screen and get your questions answered. That's that for that. Anyways, let's get on with tonight's topic or our guests. Let me get caught up here on my page. Alrighty, so tonight we're joined by a married couple with 3 adult kids and a dog from Ontario. Their passion is RV camping and sharing their experiences with us through their popular YouTube channel, Camping with the Coles. On their channel, they share provincial park reviews, tips, tricks, and RV camping lifestyle, and some of their adventures, of course. Please welcome to the live stream tonight. We have Cheryl and Ben. Or your names are reversed, so we got Ben and Cheryl.
Well, you can call me Cheryl. That's fine.
Okay. You know one thing. My wife's name is Cheryl as well.
Is it really?
Yeah, I didn't mention that before. So
did you spell it the same way?
Spelled exactly the same way.
Perfect.
There's not a lot of Cheryls out there, actually.
So yeah, you know what? That's too bad my name wasn't Ben, I guess, right? Or your name wasn't Dennis.
Well, thanks
do you know any other couples by the same names as yourselves?
Oh no.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Do it. So actually, no, I shouldn't say that. We do. We know a Ben and Cheryl, or a Cheryl and a Dennis. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost forgot about that. Yeah, crazy. Anyways, how you guys doing?
Great.
Doing great. Thanks so much for having us.
Well, you know what? Thanks. I know you guys kind of weren't expecting me to reach out because I think your response was at the time you didn't hear of my channel, right? You've never heard of it.
No, we haven't.
Yeah. So, but now you have, and I thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's greatly appreciated. Let's learn a little bit more about Camping with the Coles. Tell us a bit about your channel.
Okay. First of all, thanks for having us. Since you reached out to us last week, I looked up some of your stuff and was just amazed by the content that you have on there. We watched the interview with Les Stroud. That's Survivor Man. We used to watch his TV show, and you got Kevin Callan on there all the time. We're big fans of his. Back 25 years ago when we were backcountry camping, we were reading his books. So it's really an honor to be on your show because you've had some great talent on here.
Thank you.
Anyway, our channel, we just a couple of years ago, we started doing reviews of Ontario Provincial Parks. It's something whenever we wanted to go to a park, we would always research it. And part of that was looking on YouTube. And we found when looking on YouTube and researching parks, we had a lot of difficulty finding somebody that was actually doing reviews. It'd be a lot of home movies and things like that. So you'd get a little snippet of the park, but it really wasn't an overall view of the park. And we decided that we wanted to give an overall review of the park so we could help people when they are making their decisions where they're going to spend their valuable vacation time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you guys do a really good extensive job of that. Your videos all seem to be within that 20 to 25 minute mark, and you cover, what's at the park, what's around the park, things to do. How did you come up with that? Well, you mentioned how you come up with the concept, but why did you come up with the concept? What made you want to share this with other people?
Just because people are always looking for reviews of parks.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I started just doing home movies of some parks that we were at. So we've been camping for a long time, and I do home movies, and I'd put them on YouTube, mostly just for memories for us, a place to store the videos. Mm-hmm. But then as time went on, we decided to branch out and find more parks. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to actually make some real videos and not just a home movie. We're going to try to make something that people are going to enjoy. and help them. So that's what we started doing in 2019.
2019. Is that about the time that the love for RV camping started, or were you RV campers long before that?
Long before that. I think it was around 2010.
Yeah, 2010 is when she convinced me to go over to the dark side and and get an RV.
To the dark side, because we were talking in the green room, and you mentioned, or we were discussing the fact that you used to do backcountry camping as well. Right. No more of that in your future, or is that?
I still kept the equipment.
Yeah,
well, we've got a lot of equipment for all different types of camping. But the backcountry stuff, we were doing that as well as regular car camping in parks and stuff too, up until about 2010. And she convinced me to get an RV, and she kind of tricked me a little bit because I was very happy sleeping in a tent.
I was too.
Yeah, she was too, but she was kind of pushing to get a travel trailer. And then she convinced me that it won't replace camping. It's just going to replace our yearly road trips we go on, where we would drive down to Virginia Beach and Myrtle Beach and places like that. And I thought, oh, we'll get it for that reason. And as soon as we got it, I fell in love with the lifestyle. I did one last backcountry camping trip. I was a supervisor with my buddy. He was a teacher, and he would take kids on camping trips, usually in Algonquin and Killarney. And we'd do canoe trips. And I went on one last trip with him. It wasn't supposed to be the last trip, but I was out there. It was middle of October. It was raining for most of the hike we were on. We got to our site. We got a fire. Well, we're trying to get a fire going. The rain turned to snow. It was coming at us sideways. And I'm standing there looking at what's supposed to be our fire and thinking, what am I doing? I could be in a nice warm trailer right now. I could have my feet up on the couch. I could have a bowl of microwave popcorn in my lap. I could be watching a movie, you know, and that was it. I was just, I couldn't do the backcountry stuff anymore. I got soft.
Got soft. You know what? The funny thing is I'm a backcountry lover yet. I do love going to, you know, provincial park. I mentioned we went to Turkey Point this year. And that's how I found you guys on YouTube, is because I was looking for more information on Turkey Point. You had a great review on it. But I do enjoy my family camping at provincial parks, you know, sleeping in a tent or a cot, or I usually sneak my my hammock out there too, because I'm a hammock sleeper when I'm in the backcountry, and it's just a good sleep. Yeah. But my wife, she won't be caught dead in the backcountry. She wants to do what you're doing, right?
Yeah. Now you have a happy medium.
Exactly. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You know, everybody has a different comfort level when it comes to enjoying the outdoors, and you know, whether it's in a, you know, what you're doing in an RV, or you know, the Holiday Inn camper that you know, stays at the Holiday Inn and hits the back, like, you know, goes for a hike or whatever it is. At least you're getting out there, and that's the main thing.
Get out and enjoy nature.
Exactly. So now you both have a very active role in your channel as far as the flow of the way your videos go. You know, you share your comments together and stuff like that. I notice Cheryl's always looking to Ben, and Ben's always looking to Cheryl for you know, the comments in your videos. So I love that. It's a really good click that you guys have going on there.
Thanks.
What is the true allure of RV camping for you guys? You know, I know you've said you're starting to get a little soft, Ben. Well, what's the real allure? Like, what's?
Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say we can extend our camping season a lot longer.
Yeah.
For one thing. Another thing is when we travel mainly through the States, we don't have to stay at hotels. We can stay in our own trailer, know that we're the only ones that have slept there. What else? And
we can go. We don't care what the weather is like when we go out. So yeah, if it's going to be raining that weekend, you'll see a lot of the campground has much fewer people, because people in tents, they decided, you know, they're not going for a rainy weekend. But we can go for a rainy weekend, and we'd take our kids, go for a rainy weekend, and we don't care. We're nice and comfortable in the trailer, and then there's breaks in the weather. We head out and we run around like mad fools and try to get everything in there, hikes and everything else. And if we get poured on, it doesn't matter, because we're going to get back into a nice warm trailer and have no problems that way. So the lure of it is we can do all the hiking and paddling and enjoy nature like that, but we always have a very nice, warm, comfortable place to go back to at night.
Mm-hmm. And the nice thing too about the provincial parks is they always have features that you can take advantage of, right? So you're not stuck in your trailer the entire time. Yeah. So do you prefer camping at provincial parks, or are you prone to going to, like, Joe's campground out in Timbuktu? Is that
I myself prefer provincial parks. I know you've mentioned about staying in private parks, but I just feel like they're kind of got their own thing going, and I feel like an intruder if we go there. So I prefer provincial parks for that reason.
Yeah, the private parks usually we've only been to a couple of private parks. We haven't been to many. Like in Ontario,
In the States, we've been to some too.
In the States, when we travel through the States, we've done that. But
it's more of a comfort zone thing. For me.
A lot of them are family run, and most of the activities are right in the park. Not a lot of real like hiking and
everybody's
canoeing.
got their little golf carts that they're driving around. So I don't like that.
Yeah. So when we go places, there's RV parks. We don't stay at RV parks. Even when we're traveling through the States, we stay at state parks, Army Corps of Engineer parks, parks that are a little bit more on the rugged side, but still have electricity for us because we like our comforts.
Mm-hmm. I kind of have to agree with that too. I find some of the smaller private run or privately owned parks, some of the rules that they have are really wacky.
Yeah.
I know there has to be rules, but some of the rules that they have are just way out in left field. You know what I mean? You look at it and really?
And some of them are very strict about their rules too. And you could be booted out for the slightest little infraction.
Yeah. Now, you have a dog. What's your dog's name?
Kingston.
Provincial parks, there's no provincial parks that don't allow dogs, is there?
No, they're allowed at all the parks. Yeah.
You just have to have them on leash. Keep them. Well, unfortunately, Kingston's not the best. That's why he doesn't come on very many trips. He tends to bark a lot.
He has small dog syndrome. So when he sees a bigger dog go by, he has to puff himself up and pretend he's a bigger dog.
Like he has to puff himself up.
Yeah. So we do take him on some trips, especially the ones that have a nice dog area. Some of the parks have leash-free dog beach and leash-free trails. Like Bon Echo has a leash-free dog trail. That's pretty cool. So we like it for that. He likes to be off leash.
Yeah. Dogs got to run, right?
Yeah.
You still got to abide by the rules. So you guys have been doing a lot of reviews of provincial parks over the last 3 years. What are some of the biggest changes you've seen over the past few years with the provincial parks? There's been a lot of changes.
The difficulty in booking sites.
Yeah, it's gotten crazy.
Yeah. Do you think that just has to do with the era that we're in right now with this,
I think so.
this COVID era?
Yeah, especially with COVID, people
they have nowhere else to go.
Yeah, they can't really leave and go on their vacations, their beach destinations and stuff. So they're sticking closer to home, and they're realizing that it's a lot safer. Like Cheryl said earlier, staying in a hotel, you don't know who was in the room before you. You don't know how well it was cleaned. It can be quite germy, if you travel with your own trailer. You know what happened in that trailer. You're cleaning the trailer, and you're taking your home with you, so it's a much safer thing to do. A lot more people are buying travel trailers. If you look at the travel trailer industry now, it's you go to the lots to buy one, and they were always full before, always full. But the last 2 years, you see them half full, and most of those are already sold. So you're ordering a trailer, and it might take 6-8 months before you get your trailer. So you're just looking kind of online at a model and say, I'll take that one. And you don't even get to see your finished trailer until you're there signing on the dotted line to buy it. So it's expanding greatly, the travel trailer industry. And unfortunately, they're not really creating any more parks or many more campsites. So it's getting really, really busy in the parks.
Yeah. We were speaking about that too, how, you go to a provincial park and there's so many empty sites yet. They're saying they're full or overbooked. Why is it that all these things are empty? Are people reserving and not using?
I think it's that as well as COVID restrictions. I think they're maybe cutting off how many campers can come into the park.
We don't know if the parks are doing that or not.
They're
but
not saying they are anyway.
No, but it just seems strange when you go to a park, and we know how hard it is to book a campsite this year and last year especially. So hard to book a campsite. So many people wanting a site. When you go into a park and see, like 25% of it empty, it just seems strange how that can be. Now, maybe maybe people are canceling, and actually they're not actually canceling. They're just not showing up, maybe because of weather or something else. But what I would ask people to do, and in our latest video we put out about tips of booking a site, I really ask people, if you are going to cancel, please go online and officially cancel. Let that site open up, because there's many people that are happy to take last minute site.
Yeah, you know what? Nothing more disappointed than a family who would really like to get out camping and they can't because it's supposedly full.
Yeah,
and it's actually not full, right? You're taking that opportunity away from family, young people, from getting out there and enjoying the things that we like to enjoy ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So kind of not a fairness with that whole type of thing, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned your video that you just put out there. You got a lot of great tips on there on how to book with the system and some new features that they have. Do you care to elaborate on that? Maybe share some of this. Don't give away too much though, because we want everybody to go and watch the video, of course, right?
Well, one of the big things that they did. Now the Ontario Parks notified or posted this on January 4th that they made 5 updates to their system. One of the things that a lot of your viewers would like is there's a backcountry tab there, and now Killarney and Algonquin, you can book specific sites in backcountry. So instead of just getting a first come first serve site when you get on that lake, you book your pass and you just pick whatever site is available on the lake. Now you actually reserve a specific site for Algonquin and Killarney. The other thing that's really big, and we're going to have to see how it really rolls out, is the notify me button. So when you go to a park, and what most people do and what we do, and it's coming up to that season for booking in the summer, is exactly 5 months to the day that you want to go camping. You want to be on your computer at 6:59 a.m. and have your finger right over that button ready to press reserve soon as it strikes 7 o'clock, so that you can get that site. And you're battling probably with thousands of people for it. So a lot of the times you don't get it and the park is full. And if the park is full, there's now a notify me button that you can press. And the parks will notify you when a site opens up that matches your criteria. Now, it's only the criteria of, I believe, date, park, and the equipment you have, where you say you've got a trailer 25 feet or less. Mm-hmm. So we always filter it for an electric site, and they don't allow that in there. So my concern with that is so if I click that notify me button, I'm going to get notified many times of sites that are not electric. So I'm going to have to go through a lot. We didn't know how quickly they'd notify you, so I reached out to Ontario Parks and asked them, and they said it's an immediate notification. So what that actually means, I don't know if that means like within the minute. But when they do notify you, I'm sure several hundred other people are getting the same notification at the same time. So
starts all over
you
again.
Better go fast.
So you got to be quick on the trigger, pretty much, right?
Always I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You said that's five months.
Yeah.
In advance, you can actually book.
Right.
See, that's the hardest part for a lot of people too,
and
maybe why this whole reservation system. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not saying it's great. But the 5 months in advance allows people to book without really knowing what their plans are.
Exactly.
You also touched on something about where, people can book for 30 days? Is it 30 days in a provincial?
23.
23, and they could book that whole lot, not even knowing what portion they're going to go, and then cancel last minute the portions that they don't want, right? Yeah. I don't know. There got to be a better way.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are doing that, and they're kind of messing with the system there, where they want 4 days, and they will start booking the 23 days where the last 4 days are in that 23 days. So, they're looking for the July long weekend, July 1st to the 4th, and instead of being on March 1st, April, May, June, July, February 1st. So instead of being on February 1st and trying to get your July 1st site, they'll go on 23 days before that. So they'll get that July 1st site. And so you'll get on there on July 1st to book, and there might be 2 or 3 sites available in the entire park. And you think, how is that possible? It's because people are booking up that 23 days. And it's a shame. And then they're going to cancel.
So that's when you have to start looking for cancellations a month after you've booked, because they will start canceling at that point.
Once you book, you can't cancel until a month later.
Right.
So, and then it's only a 10% cancellation fee that you pay. So a lot of people will book that full 23 days, and a month later to the day, they'll cancel, 19 days of it, and pay a 10% penalty for that. So that's where it's important. If you don't get that site, get in there 1 month later. So 4 months before you want to go, because there's going to be a lot of openings then.
Up again.
So you say a 10% penalty. Is that 10% of the entire booking time? Like if it's the time that you just for shits and giggles, $1,000 bill, 10% of that, $100 penalty, basically.
Right. 2 months would be $200 penalty.
But yeah, that's roughly what you're saying. Like $100. It's usually, it would be probably around $1,000. So about $100 penalty. But yeah, that's within a month. If you wait for another month, then it's going to be 20%. Another month, it's 30%. So it gets right up to within a month of your actual booking, it's a 50% cancellation fee. So you do want to cancel as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm. So are there any other tips that you could share with people that I know you might have your own tricks up your sleeve for booking, because you two do a lot of camping in the summertime. Pretty much almost every weekend from what I could see from your reviews and stuff. But are there any other tips that you'd care to share with people as to how to book or the fairness thing?
2 accounts.
Right. We have 2 accounts. So both of us will each get on a laptop and start booking and see if one of us can swing a site.
Right.
And rarely we both get a site, but if we were to both get a site, then we would wait for the one person to go through the full reservation system. And once it's booked, then the other person will just drop the site out of their shopping cart. So that's another tip too.
So again, wait for that 20-minute after 7 a.m. because people will lose that site out of their shopping cart and it becomes available. So there's still that window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So right at 7 o'clock, if you don't get it, stick around for another 15 or 20 minutes, because the system will allow you to have it in your shopping cart for 15 minutes before dropping it out of your cart. So, 15 minutes later, it might drop out of somebody's cart. Mm-hmm. And the way it worked out,
got a site that way.
Yeah. Well, this past year, there was a lot of problems with the reservation system. I think it was overloaded. Mm-hmm. And we had it many times where we didn't know if we had the site or not. We're just looking at a spinning wheel on the screen and we didn't know. And then next thing you know, it's 15 minutes later and we don't have the site. So I'm sure that happened for other people too. So you have to be on it. It's a stressful time, and it's coming up very soon.
Right. So now you say because you're booking 5 months in advance. Now you're booking for have you already started booking for 22 yet?
Yep.
Yeah, we booked some May trips and some trips. Yeah, some June.
4 trips.
Yeah, some June trips.
Okay, so but you know, because Ben, you said you're retired now, so you're going to use your time if you get it, right? So
absolutely. Yeah, we don't cancel.
Good stuff.
And that's the thing. We don't care about the weather or anything else. We're not going to cancel.
Yeah. Do you think Ontario Parks is doing a good job, or trying to do the best that they can for making it more successful for people to be able to book?
Good question.
I think they're trying.
I don't want you to throw them under the bus. I think they're trying to. They're trying to find the solutions, right?
Yeah, like I said, that notify me button is a big step.
Yeah, they're slowly evolving.
It's a good attempt.
Adding these things.
Mm-hmm. But really, they make a lot of money out of the cancellations. So, they kind of might want the system this way. Because if somebody books 23 days and then cancels a whole bunch of it, Well, they get that 10%, and then they're going to book it all up anyway. So they're kind of double dipping on sites. So
this is true. Yeah, I never thought
not
of it
bad
that
for
way.
them.
That's what a way to look at it. The rich get richer, right?
Yeah.
It happens.
And anything you think that they can really improve on? Like, do they have a survey type of thing where you can actually give them suggestions? Because you two are obviously seasoned veterans at what you're doing with the provincial parks, right? You're going almost every weekend. Have you ever tried to share information with them?
Not really. No.
No.
We haven't really done that. I've emailed them a couple times asking for questions and clarifications, but no, I haven't had any of that kind of rapport with them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Something we'll have to look into.
There you go. You know what? I've got a couple of questions here I've been marking here throughout the chat. If you see me looking off, I'm still listening. I just
I know.
Jennifer Stewart was asking, where are some of your favorite parks?
Algonquin would be one of them.
Here, you want to show that off again? Go ahead. Algonquin Park. Yeah, everybody loves Algonquin, right?
We like the Lake Huron parks because we have taken our kids camping there since they've been little. So we and they're not far from us as well. And they've got beautiful sunsets on Lake Huron. We tend to like those parks.
A lot of good memories from those parks.
Yeah.
That would be like McGregor Point, Pinery, Huron,
Point Farms. Yeah, those types. There's a lot of good parks. The ones out east that we've gone to, Bon Echo,
love Bon
Murphy's
Echo.
Point, up north, Restoule, Mikisew. Those were great.
Mm-hmm.
This summer, we're planning to hit Sleeping Giant. So we'll be hitting a lot of new parks, and I'm sure we're going to love those ones as well.
You have the checkbook going. You're trying to knock off every park that you can.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, it used to be that we would go to the same parks over and over again. And then
with the YouTube channel, this is giving us a reason to explore new parks and review them.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's a motivation to go to more parks and expand our horizons. So we're looking at it, and there's a lot of parks we love, but it's like, no, we're not going to that one. We're going to one we've never been to before because we want to do a review on it.
We're not the only ones. A lot of people are stuck in that rut where they just go to the same park year after year after year. And then they get disappointed if they don't get a site that year, but you have to get out and explore new parks.
Yeah, for sure. Like I mentioned to you in the green room there that Samuel de Champlain is one of my favorite parks. Been there several times. More so when the kids are younger, just because of the features that the park has, the little river where you can go body surfing or tubing down and stuff like that. But there's so many beautiful parks out there. Any idea how many parks there are that have camping facilities?
We did
did know that.
We did know
I said it in one of my videos. I just can't remember now.
Yeah. Are we in the hundreds? Because there are a lot of provincial parks.
There are.
I'm thinking it's
somebody
around.
will probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's around 84 that are like parks for camping. Yeah.
You should be able to knock that off in like 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Right.
Well, each year we're doing more parks. So this is a very ambitious year for us. Like we could be looking at
we've got a lot planned. Like
15 to 17 parks this year. So I don't know when I'm going to find the time to actually do the videos for them because I'm not the best video editor, and I take some time to do that. And
it'll run through winter, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another question here we got from, let's see here. We got Lorraine Gomes is asking, what's the best Ontario provincial park for late May and June to avoid black flies and mosquitoes? And she is a subscriber and she loves your channel.
Thank you.
There you go.
Definitely not in the northern parks. You want to stay
as south as you can get.
Yeah.
So that's why when we did our Lake Erie tour this past year, we figured it's black fly season.
That was in July.
Yeah, let's try to be as south as possible. And we did a whole bunch of Lake Erie parks. And, we found some mosquitoes and stuff, but mosquitoes are okay. They're slow and stupid. So it's not so bad. The black flies, the deer flies, the horse flies, those are the ones that are going to get you.
But you should still always be prepared.
Yeah.
Always be prepared. Yeah,
always
for
be
sure.
prepared.
No, it's a great question. Yeah. You know what? There's always that opportunity where, if you go up north in those peak months like that, you're going to get slaughtered. It doesn't matter Well, what's the best time do you think to go up north, or like in that northern area? Usually
September?
August, September.
Yeah. When we tried
October?
it, August is the time that we want to do our favorite parks, because August is usually really nice weather. You still got late nights for sunshine for long parts of the day, and still the water's warm and way fewer bugs in August. And then of course you get into September and October. No more bugs and now beautiful colors and stuff, and
Cooler temperatures.
yeah.
Yeah, late season, my favorite time to be paddling too. Yeah, August is typically my big canoe trip with my buddies. September. Really nice times, just so that you don't have to worry about the bugs. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
And in terms
another
of the
question here from sorry.
I was just going to say, in terms of the provincial parks too, if you get out of July and August,
The shoulder seasons.
when all the kids are out of school, that's when the parks are the busiest. So if you can do September, October, and May, June, it's a lot less busy in the parks.
Yeah. So Dave is asking for high demand on campsites in Ontario. How come it doesn't bother you giving up tips to everyone for the best way to book sites? You would think a lot of people, if they have their secrets, are going to try and hold their
everybody
secrets so
always
they can
says,
get their sites, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some friends of ours last year. So we put out a video like this last year, and this year we've updated it. And some of our friends were a little upset with us. But what we're saying is it's not a secret. Like, a lot of people know it. The updates to the reservation system, well, the parks posted that themselves. The being able to book 23 days, it's all online. It's all there to be read. It's not a real secret. It's just we're telling people what we do and how we do it. And yeah, it is giving them some tips, but nothing's really a secret. So I don't feel bad about doing it. We're just trying to help people out.
Yeah. You know what? It's like you say, they're going to find out one way or another anyways, unless they're people that don't camp that often anyways.
Yeah.
Right. And they're the ones that are usually going to be disappointed. So yeah, I give you guys kudos for actually sharing this information, because like you say, it's all out there, but a lot of people aren't aware it's out there.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's a bit of a money saver that we've received a couple comments on. Some people weren't aware that you can change your site selection. So sometimes we'll book a non-electric site because that's the only thing we can get in the park. And over the next couple of months, we'll keep watching and checking. And then if there's an electrical site open, you can go in there and just change your site, and you only have to pay. Sorry. You only have to
give her the giggles. I seen the one video, your review video for last year, and yeah.
But if you just change your site, so you can go on there and change it, it's only a change of reservation fee. And I may have made a mistake in the video. I gave last year's prices, but taxes in, it's $10.50 to change it. Where a couple people have put comments in that they didn't know that, and so they were canceling their entire trip and paying like $100 to cancel, and then rebooking, paying the booking fee and everything else. So they're spending a lot of money when all they really need to do is spend $10.50 just to change the reservation. So that's a tip, but it doesn't really help you get a park or get a site any better. But at least it's a money saver.
Yeah. So like the one thing I like about the tips that you share about booking with a provincial park is it's not just RV for RV camping,
Right.
because a lot of the tips that you're giving are tips that could be used for backcountry paddlers, backcountry hikers.
We just had a question about that today, didn't we? Did somebody not question about
What was that?
Was it the search? I can't even remember what it was. Somebody was asking us a question about backcountry, about reservations.
Oh yeah, he was trying to get a backcountry site, and I think he was on the wrong tab, and he was where it's the first come first serve type thing, and I just kind of had to direct him over. There's a backcountry tab and a backcountry registration tab. Doesn't make it real clear, but you want to click the backcountry tab, and that's the one that you can reserve a specific site for some of the parks.
Right. Cool. We're getting a lot of great questions here in the chat. Let's see here. Do you mind taking a few more from the chat?
No problem.
Okay, well let's take a few, because I got like 5 of them start here. Ian's asking, are you going to multiple parks around Lake Superior this year, and what are they?
That's
You
the
mentioned
plan.
Sleeping Giant.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're trying to, our destination is Sleeping Giants, so we want to hit some of the parks along the way. We have been to them before, but it was before we did reviews, so we're going to hit them again and do reviews. Lake Superior, Agawa Bay, Killbear, Grundy, Nays, Chutes, Kakabeka. What else?
So really, of the ones
Yeah.
around Lake Superior, we've only been to Agawa Bay.
Yeah.
So we've really never done Lake Superior before. So we decided we're going to do that this year and make Sleeping Giant the destination. And what we try to do, the parks we go to, we like to spend at least 3 nights there to give us a real good idea of the parks.
And we can tour and check out surroundings.
Yeah, then we can do a proper review of it. Before, if we weren't doing reviews, we'd spend a night at each park just to get to our destination. But now we're going to make a trip of it. And so it'll probably be 3 weeks to do three nights at each park. Now, this is our hope. We got to try to book it.
Yeah, that's going to be the
And
trick.
it gets pretty tough when you're trying to book one park after another on certain dates.
Yeah. Well, being retired though, you're probably a little bit flexible with what you can actually do too, right? So
Yep, that is handy.
yeah, for sure. Amy Coles is asking, do your kids like camping as much as you do?
Well, since she's our oldest daughter.
Oh, geez. Okay, yeah. Ding, like, well, hi, Amy. How you doing?
That's funny.
Well, Amy,
I guess she's watching.
do your parents like having you camping? I think they do.
As kids, they loved coming camping
Oh,
with us.
they sure did.
And then and a lot of people kind of lose the kids as teenagers or they don't want to go camping. Our kids still camped with us as teenagers. As long as they're living at home, they loved camping with us. And it was really great. Now, Amy's 26 right now.
They all have full-time jobs now, so it's difficult to take them.
Yeah. So we when we book a trip, we don't know how many people are going to show up, but we let them know when and where we're going and see who shows up. So sometimes we get them all showing up and sometimes
That's
not.
rare.
So we just we play it by ear.
Do they shack up with you in the trailer? Do you have to pull the kitchen table down into a bed, or do they bring their own?
Well, the
facility?
trailer we bought specifically to accommodate everybody if they do decide to come.
Yeah, a trailer has it's kind of a
It's a half hybrid.
yeah. It at the end an end tips out and is another queen size bed. So when we don't have the kids there, that end is up, and we don't worry about it. We don't lose any floor space at all.
And our couch opens up into a queen size bed and the dinette, but we don't usually use that.
We've never used the dinette, but it's really nice having the tip out
So
on the
8
end.
adults could sleep in our trailer.
Nice.
So we
Campers
in
and
there.
RVs have really come a long way over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
With the tip outs or the what do they call it? The extensions that come
Slide
out.
outs.
The slide outs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these campers I've seen are nicer than my house. You know what I mean?
They are.
Oh, ours is very comfortable.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get too big though. There's some really big ones out there, and you're not getting into too many provincial parks when you got a big giant fifth wheel or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some challenges with ours.
I wouldn't. Ours is a 25-foot, and I don't think I'd want to go any bigger than that.
Well, you know what? We'll get into talking maybe a little bit there about your camper, because I'd like to know what you got and some of the benefits of owning what you actually have. One of our regulars here on the show, Mr. Kevin Callan, is asking, how have you found the camping etiquette with the increase of campers?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. People don't understand etiquette when camping. Garbage, people washing their dishes under the water taps, leaving trash on the beaches, showering on your site, which, I mean, we used to do that when we first started, but now you don't want to erode the campsites with everybody showering on site.
We've seen big groups of people go to the beach and put a tent up so that they could use that as their toilet. Digging a big hole in the sand, and everybody's there for the day and they're using that as their toilet and then just covering it up with sand afterwards.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just some horrifying stuff that we'd never seen before. It's just there's so many more new people coming
and just
to camping.
the light pollution and the sound pollution. People don't know how to respect their neighbors.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter what campgrounds you go to. You'll always hear them people after, I won't even put an age group to it, but usually it's the youngers, right?
Right.
That
And
they get out there hooting and hollering at all hours of the night. They just don't get it, right? That there's families and people trying to sleep, and
Yeah. And little things like a travel trailer has all these outside lights on it. When you go to bed at night, turn off your outside lights. The person in the tent next door to you doesn't want to have a light shining on them all night when they're trying to sleep, but there's people that are just inconsiderate and do that sort of thing. And some of those lights can be really bright, and I'll go out for a walk at night, maybe walk Kingston at night, and I'll walk past a trailer and I'm blinded as I'm walking past the trailer, and I'm thinking, why do you need all those lights on? Turn off the lights. You're camping. Let's look at the beautiful sky.
But do you test that to maybe like people just because they're new at it, they haven't learned it yet?
Yeah.
Like it's not like they're being malicious.
No.
Part, right? It's just that they're not aware of what the actual etiquette is, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't think people are being malicious about this.
Some are.
Well, you get the partiers and stuff, but leaving the lights on and stuff, and sometimes running generators at inconsiderate times.
But I hate when they're washing their dishes at the tap where you're trying to get your water.
Especially when they're right there at the water tap, and there's a sign that says "Do not wash dishes here," and they're washing their dishes right at the tap. There's a sign right there.
Yeah. They don't know how to read. They don't know how to read.
Cutting through campsites and things like that.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah,
you read Kevin Callan's mind, because I know he has a huge issue with this. What's the etiquette about walking through someone's campsite?
There you go. Kevin has that right there.
Have your BB gun out, or the dog.
Yeah, the dog out. But yeah, when you're in your campsite, that's your home. That's where you live. And if somebody's walking through your campsite, it's like they're walking through your living room, like you shouldn't be walking through people's campsites. And you see that a lot with kids because they don't know any better, and they'll run through your site or something like that. But that's something the parents need to teach the kids. And as an adult, you just shouldn't be going through somebody's site.
Speaking of parents,
well, not only that, you have your valuables, right? Like, you could have your bicycles unlocked, you could have food, you could have, if you're an outdoor cooker, you can have all that stuff kicking around. You don't know who's walking through your site, right?
That's right.
I'll give you an experience, and it's a campsite that you reviewed one time. We went to Valence one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there was 3 guys, and we went there. It was like just a little weekend retreat, and we were civil dudes, right, out there just having a few beers, enjoying our campfire at nighttime. And went to bed the one night, woke up in the morning, and our portable barbecue was gone.
Yeah.
Right. So somebody actually come right into our campsite and stole the barbecue. And we're thinking to ourselves, well, they wouldn't steal this barbecue and leave the campgrounds. There has to be somebody there. So we started doing the, go for a walk and a little bit of surveillance. And sure enough, we come across a party of like 8 or 9 young guys. And I knew my barbecue, right? Like I knew the scratches and the dings it had on it, and I seen it. And these guys are all huddled around it cooking. And we just went to the front desk and said, okay, our barbecue was stolen. Here's the site that has it. Right. These guys ended up, the park staff went there, told them, give them back their barbecue, or you're going to have the cops down here. Right. And they come back all apologizing and stuff, saying, oh, we forgot ours. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you forgot, right? You stole
that to the judge. Yeah.
You have to lock up everything at your site. You don't leave anything unlocked. It's going to be taken.
But that being said, we've been really fortunate. Like we've never had anything stolen. And we've been camping for 35 years, and we've never had anything stolen.
We've had our friends have things stolen.
Our friends had their entire trailer stolen last.
It wasn't at a campsite.
No, it was while in storage over the summer.
Oh, okay. I was going to say right from the campgrounds.
No.
No, you know what? That some things like that's your space. You paid for that spot. You know what I mean? And you got to secure it. Like, what do you need? Tripwires?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's crazy. Got a few more questions, but tell us a bit about your RV. What do you actually have? You said you got a 25-footer. Tell us a bit about it.
It's a Coachman Freedom Express 250 DSX. 254 DSX. Yes.
I was going to say that's a lot to remember, but you can remember. So.
It is a lot to remember.
Yeah, it's a 2017. And we bought it new in 2017, and that was the last year that they made that kind. I believe is
which is unfortunate.
2013 to 2014. And it's a trailer that we had been seeing at the RV shows.
Since 2014.
Yeah, and we fell in love with that trailer, and that was our dream trailer.
We like the layout. It's open concept.
But I never really thought we'd be buying it. I just, that was just kind of the dream trailer. Cheryl knew.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes her a little bit of time, and she can get me to do whatever she wants. So eventually in 2017, I retired in 2017, and it kind of made that the retirement gift for me. We bought that trailer, and just in time, because that was the last model year for it. And I can't believe it is, because it's an amazing trailer. And we actually have a video out with our RV tour we did in 2020, I think. And we just love the trailer. Like I said, it's got the tip out. Most of the times we just have that up. And when we have some kids, we drop it down and they sleep in there. It's a really nice trailer.
Yeah, everything's obviously self-contained. Do you have much to pack when you're going on a trip, or is like everything you have your camping gear and it's all there, or do you have stuff you got to bring in the house?
Everything's pretty much in the trailer, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, Cheryl stocks it and keeps it well stocked, and so when we go out on a trip, it's just a matter of putting some more food in
and clothing.
And the clothes that you took out that you had to wash, because everything else just stays in the trailer. So it's really easy to pack up to go camping, and when you get home, it's very easy too. You just bring your dirty clothes in and wash them, and everything else stays in the trailer.
You don't have laundry in the trailer?
That's one thing we don't have.
Yeah. Why waste the space, right?
Yeah.
But we do bring a scrubba bag with us.
I have a scrubba bag if I want to do a few articles of clothing.
Yeah. Sometimes on the longer trips, you don't want to bring that much clothing or that many pairs of underwear or something.
Or if you get them all dirty or sweaty, you can just do a quick wash in the scrubba bag and hang them up to dry.
Come on, Ben, you got 4 sides to your underwear, right? So
that's right.
Hey, what happens on Canoe Hound Adventure stays here, right? So
that's right.
Yeah. So get on with a couple more questions here, because like I say, we got a lot coming in here from our viewers here. Les is a subscriber to your channel. What's your favorite park to take your dog to? They have 2 golden retrievers.
Oh, nice. We haven't taken Kingston on too many places.
Mikisew had a really nice was it Mikisew? Yeah, Mikisew had a really nice little fenced-in dog area that was at the edge of the water. So it's leash free, and your dog can go swimming in there, and it's not far from the campsites. But then for a massive dog area, Port Burwell.
Oh, they've got a great beach for your dogs.
They got a massive beach area for on-leash dogs, and then they have another one right next to it for off-leash dogs. So it's like 300 meters of big, beautiful beach for each type of dog beach. So that's a really popular park for people with dogs.
Bon Echo too. They have an off-leash trail.
Yeah, Bon Echo is an off-leash trail and an off-leash dog beach.
Yeah, that's really beneficial, because there's a lot of dog owners. Now, you mentioned that you don't bring your dog too much because he's a little boisterous when you're on trips.
Yeah.
Right.
He's getting a little old.
Yeah.
He's getting old and grumpy.
Who watches the dog while you're gone?
Our youngest daughter does. She lives at home with us.
Okay.
Yeah, she works from home. She has a Bachelor of Photography degree, and she works from home with her own company, Allison Coles Photography. It's a little plug there. And lately she's been doing all her thumbnails for me, so that's great because I'm awful with Photoshop. But she's been doing her thumbnails. And she stays at home most of the time working, and she looks after the dog, does a great job at that. And she prefers to have the dog at home too, so that's nice. She likes the company.
Yeah, a little companionship there, right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that there. I've got a dog, and whenever we do go to campgrounds, we always try to find a campsite or campgrounds that has a dog-friendly area at least.
Most of them do.
Yeah, they do. Like, even I was really surprised when we went to Turkey Point this past summer. Went to the beach, and they actually have a section of the beach which is for the dogs, right?
Right.
And yeah, usually they want to keep dogs off the beach, but because it's more of they have their own, the provincial park part of the beach, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's an unusual situation at Turkey Point there. Because the park beach isn't in the park. It's
you got to leave and go
down in town.
Yeah.
And so it's weird to have a dog beach in town, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's awesome, because my dog, she's not a wanderer or nothing like that. She sticks with the family, and
nice.
it was really nice to have that and be able to take her out in the water and swim and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So, they get hot too. They want to be cooled down too.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Jennifer's asking, do you camp at any of the national parks in Canada?
One of our go-to is Cypress Lake at Bruce Peninsula National Park. We were just there recently as well and did a video. I think that's the only
national park we've been to. But that's a beautiful park. But the size of our trailer, 25 foot, that's the absolute biggest you'd want to go. Man, that was a tight drive in there. Just in the roads in the park, I would have to go slow, and Cheryl would run out and direct me around
around the trees.
Some of the curves there, because the trailer is getting within an inch of trees and stuff. So you don't, and there's no electricity there at all. It's best if you have a pop-up or a teardrop or something nice and small at that park. But beautiful park, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That's out Tobermory way.
Right.
Yeah. Is that right? Because is that where the grotto is? And
that's where it is.
Okay, yeah. Been out there too. I don't recall there being a campsite there though.
Oh yeah, it used to be, actually. Little history lesson. Back in the 80s, it was Cypress Lake Provincial Park, and we used to go there. I used to go there when I was a camp counselor, and we'd take kids there to Cypress Lake Provincial Park. And then I think in 87 or so, it turned into Bruce Peninsula National Park with the Cypress Lake Campground. They didn't do a lot to upgrade it for years, but in the last 2 years, they've done a heck of a lot with it. They put a whole new dump station in there for trailer dumping. They put a big shower house rental, canoe, kayak rental things. They even have outdoor ping pong tables and basketball courts. And they've done a lot to that park in the last couple of years. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. I find the provincial parks are doing that too, right? They're trying to, they're giving you more of an environment to make you want to go there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they kind of have to. They have to give you stuff that's going to keep you interested. More so than just hiking trails and stuff like that. There's got to be activities and things of that sort. So, do you find you get your money's worth when you go to a provincial park?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You find the fee structuring system fair?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's
changed a whole lot.
$52 for an electric site, $46 for a non-electric site.
There is a premium for like on the water.
Yeah, some premium sites.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Yeah,
but I think I'm
kind of a thrifty type of person, kind of a cheap person. And a lot of the travels we've done, we used to go through the States a lot. It's so much cheaper to travel through the States. You get fully electric and plumbing and everything sites for like $20 a night. So
a little bit more, but yeah.
But still, the Ontario parks, they do a pretty good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Kevin Callan was also asking earlier too about education. Here it is here. Have you seen park wardens educating or giving out fines more the last 2 years due to lack of camp etiquette?
I haven't personally. I don't know if there's been lack of park wardens. But we have not witnessed anything.
Yeah, we see a lot of bad things happening, and I don't see anybody from the park speaking to them. Then again, we haven't gone and pointed out anything to the park wardens. But
you approach the people washing the dishes on the tap.
I sometimes will approach somebody and just politely tell them, read the sign that's right next to you, and please don't do that. Or if somebody's blasting their music at night, some people aren't comfortable to go over there and talk to the person. I feel comfortable doing that, and I'll go over there and talk to the person. It's midnight and everybody in the entire campground can hear your music. Can you please turn it down?
Yeah, you got to approach that there. You tread lightly, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I think for the most part, the wardens aren't going to come around or enforce it. Like they always do their drive arounds.
Right? Yes.
They cruise the hood, and but they're not really going to do anything unless people are complaining. And I think the biggest one that they will enforce is usually the noise. Right?
Yeah.
We did witness one where somebody was taking wood from the forest to burn.
Oh yeah.
And somebody got talking to about that.
Yeah, that's a big no-no at Provincial Park when you're front country camping. You can't go into the woods and start gathering wood for your fires. If everybody did that, there wouldn't be any woods anymore. So yeah, we did see a park warden go and enforce that when he saw somebody gathering wood. So that was good to see anyway.
Yeah, there wouldn't be very much privacy left, right? If people start taking down trees or even the fallen trees. And they need that. Now, every provincial park is there for a reason. Usually they're protecting some sort of environmental entity, for lack of a different word, I guess. And, you know, they're trying to protect something at the same time. The park is there to educate you about that particular thing, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, or feature, I guess is a good word that we can actually use for that. Yeah.
That's one of the things we love learning about too. Like we love going to the visitor centers and learning about that sort of stuff. And with COVID, the park staff has been coming out to the campgrounds and teaching about that, like bringing snakes out and showing you the snakes that are in the area and explaining stuff like that to you. We love eating up that sort of thing and hearing about what's special about that park.
Yeah, to me, that's what makes going to a provincial park worth it, and for the fee structure is knowing that you're getting that type of thing. You know, you're getting little educational seminars, you know, or the new playground, or you know, whatever it is that the park is doing. If they're just sitting on their backsides and not doing anything and just collecting in the money, then it's not really much of a value, right? So yeah. So what other things do you cover on your channel? I know you do the park reviews. What other types of things do you try to cover on the channel?
Some modifications, simple modifications we've done. Organization of their trailer. Some of our favorite items.
Yeah.
Do a few reviews too. You got a really cool electric bike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, Cheryl got an electric bike, and that was an e-bike, and that was kind of a game changer for us because now we can go much further in our bike rides, and she's still getting exercise too. Yeah. So we did a review on that. So yeah, pretty much everything we do a review on. Like nobody gives us free stuff, so we're paying for everything.
Right.
And then the things that we really like, we'll go and do a review on it. And that bike was just a Canadian Tire bike, and it's not like we're sponsored by Canadian Tire or anything or an affiliate. And we do a review on it because it's something really cool. And a lot of people that go to the provincial parks like to bike around. And if somebody has some difficulty biking and handling distances, an e-bike is something pretty cool to get.
Yeah, you know what? I used to mountain bike. And I think I'd like one of those electronic bikes myself now.
They're popular now. A lot of people have them.
They are. I'm just posting the link to the live stream here in the chat. If anybody wants to come up and ask Cheryl and Ben a question or have a comment or anything like that about their channel, please do join us. We'll invite a few people up here just after we do the swag giveaway. And then we'll get into a few more things. So mind if I do the swag giveaway right now?
Yeah, go for it.
All righty. We're going to do something really quick here. Hopefully last week we did the swag giveaway. We come back, we had a sound issue. I hope it didn't happen. Anyways, we're just going to do the same thing that we did last week, y'all. Basically, I'm going to put up on screen here a couple words, Ben and Cheryl. And if you could just type that into the chat as you see it there, Ben and Cheryl. And we'll give it a minute, and then I will just do a draw. And this week, basically, we're going to be giving away a Canoehound Adventures prize pack, which consists of decals, some iron-on patches, and a couple of goodies from our good friends over at Algonquin Outfitters. And I have to play you a little something by that. There we go. So don't forget, just put Ben and Cheryl in the chat, and I'll give you about another 30 seconds, and we will do the drawing for that. I have to update my Algonquin Outfitters little video there because they are no longer celebrating 60 years. They're celebrating 62 years, which is a good thing for them. So anyways, Ben, You want to do me a favor and do a little countdown from 10?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All righty. Let's see who our winner is this week. Da-da-da-da. And Nicole Lalonde. Nicole, I need you.
Nicole.
You know Nicole?
No.
Okay. Nicole, if you could do me a favor, please, and send me your mail or your mailing address to canoehound@gmail.com, and I will get your prize out in the mail to you. Okay, so I'll leave that on screen there for a moment, and then let's have some more fun here. Gonna do that. Hey, welcome back, guys.
Hello.
Congratulations, Nicole. That's awesome. Alrighty, let's take a couple more questions. And as I mentioned, I posted the link in the chat. If anybody has any questions that they'd like to come up and ask, feel free to do so. Control V. I'll just post that there one more time. And let's get on to a couple more questions. This is from the OG in the canoe. That's the other guy in the canoe. Having a YouTube channel, he's found it much easier to film canoe trips, even though do both. Oh, okay. He's found it hard to make beer and barbecue interesting. How do you balance that? So how do you balance your trips with doing your reviews?
Yeah, it is tricky because I am retired, but I do have some side hustles that I kind of do, and in the summertime it gets really busy. So on the trips, sometimes when it's a rainy day, I don't mind it too much because I can sit there on the computer and get doing my videos, get to editing the videos. But it does get very busy. I get it.
Yeah. Do you edit on the fly? Like, are you editing a lot while you're on a trip on that rainy night, or do you wait until you get home from your?
If it's just a one park trip, I won't do any editing on the trip normally. But when we're doing 3 or 4 parks in a row, then as we get onto the second and third park, if we have an opportunity, that's when I don't mind a little bit of rain. In the morning, if it's raining, Cheryl might sleep in a little bit. I'll get up and work away on the computer and get going. So, at the end of the 4th trip, I might have the first video done and then able to put that out when we get home. And I usually wait till we get home. I don't try to find a spot with a Wi-Fi signal and not putting it out on data or anything. I wait till I get home and I'll put them out. And then in the summertime, generally it's about every week I have a video coming out. And in the wintertime, it's a lot less, of course.
Mm-hmm. When you're shooting your videos, do you shoot it like in mind? Are you kind of like, do you have a lot to edit, or do you just shoot and then have to cut everything up when you get home?
Well,
because I'm a cut it up kind of guy. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of editing going on. We are certainly not professionals at this, and thank God that there is editing. And especially when we try to get Cheryl to say technical stuff.
A lot of bloopers.
Yeah, we and thank God it's not film; it's just digital, because we go through a lot. Yeah.
I should have queued up. You know what? We've got somebody in the basement. I might bring him up to ask a question here. 1 second here, and that'll give me a chance to go and queue up a little portion of one of your videos that I really, really enjoyed. If you don't mind me showing a clip of one of your videos.
No problem.
Okay, let me bring up our guest in the basement here, our good friend, Mr. Kevin Callan.
Hey!
Hi, nice to virtually meet you.
That's crazy, I tell you.
You're a busy guy.
Oh, you campground campers, you. Oh,
yeah, we've been following your stuff for so long, and we've got several of your books and stuff, and then we heard you made a couple comments on our videos this summer, and we couldn't believe it. That was amazing.
Well, I got to tell you, this is a really funny story for just you and I, probably nobody else, whatever. But so my sister Colleen, she's my middle sister, and they car camp a lot, right? And so I could write 10,000 best-selling novels of going into the wilderness, and she still wouldn't know what I would do for a living, right? And it's like, during the holidays, it's like, whatever, Kevin. Yeah, whatever. And then I mentioned that I knew you guys, and she went batshit crazy.
That's funny. I think I had asked her about, does she follow her brother with his, but no.
It was so funny though, because like they love your channel, and because
That's great.
it's the whole thing that they go car camping, and she to this day thinks that I'm joking that I know you guys. Oh yeah, really? Oh yeah.
I hope she's watching right now.
I know that's true. I'm going to send this to her. Question for you.
Yes.
Really loved your not your last video, but the second last video, I think, when you listed all your comfortable gadgets you brought
Comfort
along.
items, yes.
Can you mention a few of those? I think that was a fantastic video.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really for the canoe trippers out there, because I don't think many are bringing ice machines with them. But that's one of Cheryl's favorite things. What's that?
I said I thought of it. I thought of bringing an ice machine, because that's the one thing I miss in the backcountry is something that's ice cold. That's one of the first things I go for usually is an ice cream when you make that stop at the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was come up with the Nutty Buddy, right?
I'm bringing an ice machine tomorrow because I'm going winter camping.
Yeah, there you go. It's outside, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you have something specific that you liked of our comfort items?
Well, I actually thought it was really cool. The ice machine was really cool. My sister and husband Terry bought that because of that reason as well. So I think it was really cool.
Oh,
but
good.
the other was the chair. Like, my God, you spent a lot of money on that chair, Ben.
Well, I tell you, that strong back chair, we got that years ago.
Years ago.
But I went through so many camp chairs. You go to a Walmart or Canadian Tire, you buy these cheap camp chairs, $20 camp chairs that you open up, and they don't last long, and they squeeze your legs together and your back gets all arched. It's not comfortable at all, although it is better than sitting on a log in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, then we found these chairs, strong back, and they've got lumbar support in them. And wow, are they ever comfortable. And back in the day, Cheryl found great places to buy them.
Well, Mark's
Work Warehouse used to sell
them. They carried them, and then all of a sudden they stopped carrying them.
And same with Walmart. They carried the smaller version, and it was like $40 for that. And it was they're just great chairs. So we have a couple of the smaller versions, a couple of the bigger versions, and now they don't carry them in Canada anymore. And now we're looking, you go to Amazon and you're looking at like $150 American plus shipping to get one of these chairs. And eventually I'll bite the bullet and do it once these ones die. But these things have lasted a long time, and I keep on fixing them. It's the only thing that happens to them is the tiny little rivets keep on breaking on them. So I replace them with a nut and a bolt, and we're good to go for a few more years.
And Cheryl, what about those storage units or storage things you have inside the trailer? Those were really cool.
Collapsibles.
Oh, my collapsible stuff?
Collapsibles, yeah.
Oh, if I see anything collapsible, whether I need it or not, I'm getting it. I love them.
And the funny part about it is, you'd think if you got all the collapsible stuff, it takes up less space, so you've got more room in the trailer. That just means you can add more stuff to the trailer, so we can have more collapsible wear. So she'll fill up any space. So we've got something collapsible for everything.
I'll have to go through that, I guess.
Well, it's funny that the banter you guys have back and forth too, and I watch your show too. Is there a certain point where you're like, okay, we just want to do a trip, we don't want to film it, or do you want to film it just to do the trip?
I'm that way.
Yeah. Well, and we still do, we still go to some parks that we've already done reviews on. And it'll be great because we don't do a review on it again. Maybe in a year or two, a couple of years, we might start redoing them because now they're getting old. But like, for instance, this spring, we're going to be going to Inverhuron. We've already done a review on that, but we're going to go back there. So that's kind of a stress-free trip because we're just having a good time on that trip.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, did you know they were hot on your heels when you were on your Lake Erie tour there?
No.
Yeah,
I know you guys
doing that.
Yeah, those are some great parks, and I saw your review of them as well. And I don't know if we did it during a heat wave, and it rained 16 days of 18 days of the whole entire trip. But your northwestern tour along Superior, you'll just absolutely love, because Christy and I did it a couple of years ago now, because she's never been north, right? I went, what? And I canceled everything we were doing. I said, we're going, and Esker Lake near Timmins was her favorite. White Lake Provincial Park, even though it's not on Superior, was one of her favorite. Sleeping Giant was a party park when we were there. It was a weekend, but hiking trails are amazing. But it would take me a lot to go back there, to be quite honest.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
There was things that were done in that park that were so illegal, and nothing was done about it.
No park wardens around.
No.
Is that where you had the people walk through your campsite, Kevin, or was it was that the one where they were partying on the beach with the booze?
Every single park someone has walked through my site. I'm going to lose it.
Wow.
I don't know, maybe because I do more interior than Christine does. Christine is a really happy car camper, and I did that when I was young, but I was like, yeah, okay, dear. Right. But when someone walks through your campsite, I don't get it. Even though if you've never ever camped before and you don't know what etiquette is, you don't walk through someone's backyard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah.
You
There's
know,
a lot more positive than negative, but I've seen the whole thing of people doing their dishes right where the sign says "Do not do dishes."
Yeah.
And I've seen other things too, and I've seen malicious things, but majority of they just don't know any better. The good news is Ontario Parks did contact me before the holidays, and they are doing a big program on camp etiquette starting soon.
Wow.
So, yeah. They said, we know what's going on, Kevin. We couldn't do anything about it, but now we're going to do something. So.
Well, there you go, kids. Right from the horse's mouth.
But yeah, back in the summer, Kevin, when you were doing the Lake Erie parks, we didn't know you were doing that, and we were doing a tour of Lake Erie parks, and we went to what was Taylor's Fish Place or Fish Market or whatever. Yeah. And we're there, and I talked to the owner, and I said, we have a YouTube channel. Do you mind if I film this? And he's, yeah, there's another guy here that did that. I think his name's Kevin something, and Kevin Callan, and he's like, yeah. And then we go into Wheatley Park, and we're talking to the campground hosts there, and I'm asking them some questions. Mentioned I get a YouTube channel, and they're saying, yeah, there's another guy here. And so as we were going through the parks, we kept on hearing about you. So I think we were
Kevin guy again.
I think we were about a week and a half or 2 weeks behind you on that tour.
It was interesting. The main reason I did that trip was I was born and raised in Southwestern Ontario, and I worked down in those parks. And because of COVID, I wanted to go back to the familiar to heal. And also some people I know down there in tourism said, we need help here. Like the local businesses are really not doing well.
Oh,
so
nice.
I went through all the local businesses, but it was great. Every day the tourism had set up a day where I went to a local brewery.
Oh, hey.
Wow.
I wouldn't mind that gig.
It was terrible. I was sweating. I'm telling you, it was terrible. Oh, man. No, it was a good time. And also because, again, Christine had never been there as well. She goes to the east and near Ottawa and camping because she lives in Kingston, whatever. But, yeah, and I got to say, Port Burwell was one of our favorite times. And the submarine makes no sense, though, eh? Like, what is that?
Yeah, Port Burwell was a horror for us.
It was a horror for us.
Oh, the mud. That's right. I saw that.
The mud was unbelievable.
It was like knee deep.
And when we finished there, we're like our one couple that we went with, they left the first day. They couldn't take it. The next couple made it the first night, and they left that day. And we said, we're sticking it out. Mm-hmm. And we stuck it out. And then the weather did get nicer. And then we were coming up to making the video, and I'm going, holy cow, like, what kind of footage do I have? I have footage of mud. That's all I have. And we had to say something nice about it, just because we can't take our review just from one bad experience because of the weather, because that's not what the park is about. So we really had to look and decide, what do we want to show here, and what are the positives that this park has, because we can't give it a negative review because one bad experience with the weather. We really had to look at the park. So that was a park that we had a lot of difficulty doing a review on. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure it is very nice with the right weather. Beach is amazing. There
was so many great parks along there, but you're right. I mean, it all depends on the experience you had at the time, right? So, gosh, what was the one park? I can't forget. What's
Rondo?
the big one with the big beach down there?
Rondo.
So when we were there, I didn't write about this because I want to be positive through the whole experience, but the people behind us were arrested with a SWAT team. Right? So, yeah, and
that's awesome.
So it was Ben. It was actually the campers beside us that went and approached them. It wasn't the park wardens, and the OPP arrived, and it's a lovely park. I'm not knocking the park at all, but there's times, and you guys have far more stories than I do about it, but there's times where we're like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, we had a terrifying time in Canis Bay.
Oh, a few years back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There was a guy going crazy at nighttime. He was a German guy. He only spoke in German, and he was just screaming, and then he started smashing things. And then we heard him going to other people's sites, and we're hearing people scream, "Get off my site."
This is at 11 o'clock at night.
And at that time, there was
cell service.
No cell service at Canis Bay. They have cell service now. But I ended up standing outside our trailer with my fire poker in my hand, ready for the guy to come over, because he was just trashing the place. And then we had to call the OPP
from a pay booth.
So we had to go to the payphone at Canis Bay at there's no cell service. We got on the payphone. There's no number for police, so I call the operator and I say, I need to get the OPP here. And she says, "Where are you?" I said, "Algonquin Park." She says, "Spell it." And I'm like, "Okay."
Uh-oh.
And I spell it. And then she's like, "Okay, I'll be with you in a minute." And she's gone for like 2 or 3 minutes. And she goes, "Okay, sir, you need to speak to the Ontario Provincial Police."
It's like, oh no.
And I'm like, "Yes, I'm aware of that. That's what I'm trying to do. Can you put me through to them?" "Nope, can't do it." "We'll give you the phone number though." Like, oh my God, it was a painful process. And then they were over an hour out. In the end, he calmed down, and they didn't. I don't even know if they approached him, because he was calm at that point. But the park wardens first spoke to him, and they couldn't speak to him, and they were very nervous. A couple of young guys, and this guy was big.
Yeah.
The next day, we saw him at the park, and he was just sitting at his picnic table, staring at an empty fire pit. He's wearing full combat gear, like combat fatigues, and he's just sitting there staring at the fire pit for hours on end. It was kind of a scary time for us.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Like,
yeah.
And here we are worried about bears in the backcountry.
Yeah. What I like now, I like cell service, and a lot of people ask us in our reviews to talk about cell service. And back then, so 5 or 6 years ago, a lot of Algonquin Park had no cell service, like when you're on the Highway 60 corridor. But it's all pretty good service now. And we were at Canis Bay this last year, and great service. So feel a little more secure then.
That's because they installed all those metal pine trees down the highway corridor,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Well, they did, but I don't know if you know the story, but years ago when the park superintendent at the time, Ontario Hydro said, "Okay, we're now upgrading the service, so we're able to create service for people in the interior." And he said, "Absolutely not. I will not let this happen in this park." And that was probably more than a decade ago. He refused. It wasn't because they couldn't. He just said, "This is not what the backcountry is all about. They can use a side phone, they can use whatever devices, but they're not going to use their phone."
Mm-hmm.
So when you were at the campgrounds along Highway 60, that was the reason as well.
Yeah.
And that's I think you guys would answer this really good. There's a lot of debate about goods and bads about things like that, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, for us, for backcountry, like whatever that's a debate or not, but for car campers, do you find that actually you have more debate about car camping than you would with backcountry people?
Regarding?
Regarding everything, like lights on, generators on, everything. Like because you're a very small community amongst all of you, and you guys get along, but all of a sudden it's like Lucy the Ball, a long trailer episode. It's like you're going to kill each other as well, right?
Well, luckily, like we get along really well.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Not you two in particular. I'm talking about because the idea of car camping is that if I go to the backcountry, I have my own site. Nobody's around.
Yeah. Yes.
But when you guys go, you have someone right beside you, and right beside you, beside you, and that can be good and bad, right?
Yeah. Well, we usually have more of a social event. It's more of a social thing for us too, because we usually go with friends. Most of our trips, we have some friends with us that travel along with us, and it's nice to go with them.
But when we don't. I don't like having to be on top of other campers. I prefer lots of trees around my site, the privacy.
Now, Cheryl's a little more introverted. I'm a little more extroverted.
You can tell.
When we go to the campgrounds, this past year, every single park we went to, people have recognized us from our YouTube channel. And that's very different for us, very surprising for us, but people recognize us all the time. And I love it. I love when people come up and talk to us. And I love having a conversation, finding out where people are from, what they're doing, you know, what parks they've been to. I love it. Cheryl's getting to love it.
I reluctantly admire it.
Yeah.
Cheryl, you're probably like me there. You kind of get that shyness to you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't want to meet any of you. It's just it takes me a little bit longer.
Yeah. But I love the social aspect of it. And I love talking to people and meeting people when we go out to the parks.
So Cheryl, whose idea was to have a YouTube channel? Was it Ben or you?
Just look at the first couple of YouTube videos that we put on in 2019, season 1. And you can see it's me talking to the camera and her looking at her phone.
I'm looking away.
And looking around. And, yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. So two more things. I'll let you guys go. One is the ultimate question. Is every single park you go to, does it have bad firewood or just some have worse than others?
I know, right?
Every park.
I think it's an every park thing. Don't they all get it from the same place?
I'd like to know that. That would be the ultimate.
I'm thinking they get it from the same place.
It's interesting. It's for some reason they like to pre-soak their wood before they sell it.
Oh, pre-soak it big time.
Yeah.
To prevent people from burning the campground down.
Yeah, luckily we rarely buy the campfire wood, and you know you're not supposed to bring firewood to different areas of the province, but we have a good spot for skid wood, and we bring skids that are heat treated skids, not chemical treated, and those are good to bring, and we got a good hookup for that for hardwood skids, so we like to bring that with us, and that's what we burn, and it burns well and long. And not all that popping and crackling and everything.
And you can also buy legally. You could buy local wood outside the park.
I was just about to say, support those people just outside the park.
Yeah. And I think I always do that because I don't know where that wood comes from, and I don't know who the person is, but I know the person I go to visit, like Clarny. When I go up tomorrow, I know exactly where I'm buying the wood from. So
yeah, because they don't pre-soak it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Kevin, because we're actually going to Algonquin this weekend in Mule Lake, and we'll be heading into Kearney to buy our firewood, right?
Oh, the mafia guy you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? At least he's got good wood.
No, it was Sean. Sean Rowley was talking about the wood mafia guy. He's really good wood. Good guy too, actually. Yeah, for sure. You're going back to Mule Lake. You were already there for 5 days. Like, what's wrong with you? You got a job or what?
I haven't been to Mule Lake yet this year.
Oh no, it was Sean. Sean Rowley.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're both the same. You're celebrities. I get you confused.
Celebrities, yeah.
Oh man. All right. So the last thing is, I would love you to death if you just look at the screen and say, Colleen and Terry.
I was waiting for that.
Wait, what do we say?
Colleen and Terry, I know your brother.
Colleen and Terry, I know your brother.
My life is fulfilled.
Your sister sent us her itinerary for going up to Lake Superior, so we're probably going to be using a lot of her information.
Yeah, she did the same route that I kind of did, and she also came back and said Sleeping Giant was a party park too. So,
yeah, both of you said that.
I had a naked person walk by me at noon, and nobody did anything about it.
It was you, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. Keep up the good work. I love your show. I love your enthusiasm, and have a good night, guys.
Great, thanks. It was great meeting you, Kevin.
Talk later, Kevin.
Bye.
Awesome.
Well, that's cool.
Kevin's always a pleasure to have on the show. He always comes up. This guy comes up with the most unique questions sometimes.
Oh,
yes.
He is unique.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? It's that writer's edge that he has, right? So
yeah.
You know what? I queued up from your What a Year 2021 camping season recap. Mind if I play a little snippet on there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Enjoy this little bit of a snippet here. And let me just hit play.
I recognize that location.
Yeah, this is your little blooper reel that you had.
Uh-oh.
Let me hit sound.
Now, when recording this sort of stuff, not everything goes as smoothly as it could go.
Never.
Sometimes we have some little things happen. Sometimes somebody gets the giggles. Sometimes that happens. Yeah.
Maybe. A beautiful little park outside of Cambridge, Ontario.
You have trouble every time. You try to get.
Welcome to Valens. Okay. Welcome to Valens Lake Conservation. God.
Okay.
Okay. But, I think I'd prefer the.
Okay, we'll finish after this.
I had a Mercedes pulled out directly in front of us.
You know what? The giggles part, because we talked about it a little earlier there. I had to play that part.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find my screen here. Oop, there we go. We'll remove that. Yeah, I got a real kick out of that. That's one thing I really like about your videos is that you put a lot of fun into them. It's not just a dry monotone type of thing. You actually have a lot of character that you've added to it. And I think that really
real.
Yeah, it exemplifies your channel, right? So that's good stuff. We were talking. Did we already mention that on the show here about your editing style, or was that in the green room we were talking about that about the chop?
I don't know.
Well, we'll talk about it again. Okay, I asked you who actually does the editing, and Ben does the editing. But where did you learn how to do your editing?
Yeah, wow, that was. I didn't know how to do editing at all. I did a little bit when I was doing our home movies. I used an old program then, Vegas Video or something like that. And then once I retired and I had the winter off, I thought I am going to teach myself how to edit video, and I'm going to learn from the stuff that the pros use. And so the power of YouTube, I learned everything off of YouTube, and I just watched tutorials to learn Premiere Pro. And I learned all the editing then. And I'm hoping you can see the progression of the videos from season 1 to season 3, because I'm learning all the time. And it takes me a little bit of time to do them because I am learning, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to do this in the video. How do I do it? And then I go out to a YouTube video to find out how to do it. And then I'll put it in my video. Then the next time I want to do it, I don't remember again. I got to go back to the YouTube video and watch. So it takes me a fair bit of time to do it. I have no formal training on it, and I'm certainly a hack and just trying to get by with it.
So you're saying your daughter has a big part in how you edit your videos about that. Don't make it long and drawn out for old people.
Yeah, it's funny because I would do the video in the beginning. I'd do a video, and it might end up being like 45 minutes or something. And I know I want to keep them around 20 minutes or less. And it'd be a big, long video. And she would look at it and she goes, that's really slow and boring. You need to have shorter snips in there. And she's 23 years old. She likes things boom, 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 real fast. And so then I would shorten up my videos and make it appeal to the younger person. But then I found out that older people like longer pieces so that they can keep up with it. And so I kind of tried to find a happy medium there. But I'll show the videos to my mother, and she'll not like it because it's too fast for her and she's not really catching what we're doing and what's going on. But my daughter watches it and it's like, come on, let's move this thing along, you know? So it's really different for you got to look at your demographic and how you do it. So I'm trying to kind of keep it middle of the road there and keep it moving along, but not too quick, not too slow.
Yeah. When you're doing your videos, like say for instance, you head off to whichever provincial park you're at, do you have a set itinerary of how you want your video to go along? Like, do you say, okay, we got to get this part, now we got to get this part, and is it consistent across all your reviews that you're doing?
I'm trying to make it that way. And before we go, I do a ton of research on the park, and I have a couple pages written up. These are the things I want to do. And we kind of have a system now when we get to a park. As soon as we get there and we get set up, we hop on our bikes and we go and explore the entire park. And in the past, we wouldn't explore the entire park. We would be where we are at the site and to the beach or something like that, and that's it. We wouldn't do the other campgrounds. Now we go and we explore everything right off the bat on the first day, so we get the lay of the land, so we know where everything is. We'll, get some shots of campsites and the visitors, like exterior shots of the visitor center and the store and playgrounds and things like that. And then we have a good idea of what the park has. So over the next couple of days, then we'll go a little more in depth into it.
Mm-hmm. So if anybody tries to find you at a campsite, they're going to have a hard time finding you because you're out exploring.
Find us on the trail.
Yeah, we are out a lot when we go, and when we go with our friends too.
It's like, see ya.
Yeah, we're just gone, and
we bail.
They know, and then we come back and we have our campfire with them at night.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, what do you have on the bucket list? What's the big thing that you would actually like to do this summer, next summer, what have you? Is there something
down the road? Once we've covered a majority of the provincial parks, we'd like to go out east and out west, or out east and west, whichever way.
Yeah, explore Canada a little more.
Because we've done a lot of the states in the previous years, so now it's time to stick to Canada.
Okay. And we did have a trip planned to PEI a few years ago, and me being kind of cheap, I looked at it and saw it was a lot cheaper to travel through the states. So we ended up going to Maine, and we went to Bar Harbor, Maine, or Bahaba, as they say, and it was an amazing trip. And the East Coast, and it was lobster dinners every night. It was great. But now we really want to do more of Canada and check it out. So hopefully in the next couple of years, that's what we'll be doing. Cheryl still does work. She works part-time, so she doesn't have all the free time that I do. So we can't really go for really extended trips yet.
We'll have to grow your channel and make Cheryl a full-time YouTuber.
There we go. Yeah.
Right. That could be your part-time profession right there.
That'd be great.
When you mentioned you traveled down to the States quite a bit there, or what were some of your destinations down there?
We did a lot of East Coast places. Texas was a big one. And we have to mention, we'll put a plug in for the Natchez Trace Parkway.
Oh, yeah. When we do Virginia Beach and Myrtle Beach quite a bit. I have family that's down in Texas, and we've done that trip a fair bit. And an amazing road. If you're going north or south through the States, starts in Nashville, Tennessee, and goes down to Natchez, Mississippi. It's 450 miles through national forest. I think it's 3 or 4 states that it goes through. Three states. It's just 2 lanes. Speed limit is 50 miles per hour.
No transport trucks, no traffic lights, no stop signs, nothing.
Yeah. So for 450
all
miles,
wildlife.
Not a single traffic light, not a single stop sign, no transport trucks, no commercial vehicles, and just all national forest. And man, that was fantastic.
And there's a few free campgrounds along the way, along that route.
Yeah, free campgrounds that you can go into, and we thought, it's not going to be too much. And they're beautiful campgrounds.
No electrical. It's just you find a spot and park for the night.
And you can stay up to 14 days for free. It was amazing. And there's some state parks and stuff along the way there. And normally when I go someplace, when we drive someplace, we take a different route back just to explore more. But I just couldn't help myself. We keep doing that route because it's just so much better than being on the freeways.
Oh God, nightmare.
Yeah. How do they manage free campsites? Is it are you paying to travel the road?
No,
it's a free road. And you just go into the campground and you just pick one of the sites. And like it's a nice level site, and it has a picnic shelter, like a picnic table, a shelter over it, a fire pit, and it's free. I don't know if it's the taxpayers or who pays for it, but there's 3 free ones along the Natchez Trace Parkway, one at each end and one in the middle, and then there's some state parks throughout it too. But we love that area. We haven't been there in the last couple of years. There hasn't been a lot of travel through the States recently.
Excellent. Alan's saying you should swing down to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. It's beautiful there, and people are very nice. He drives up there from North Carolina to car camp.
It's very popular.
Yeah, we've watched some videos on that. Looks really nice.
Well,
and not too far.
Cool. And what's the plans for 2022? I know you've already started booking.
We have.
Yeah.
And like I said, we plan to do our Sleeping Giant tour.
Yeah.
And out east.
Well, more towards Ottawa.
Ottawa way. Some of those parks that we haven't covered yet. We'll try and squeeze those in.
We hadn't done a lot of parks out that way, mostly because we just hate driving through Toronto.
Right. Yeah.
So
isn't that the worst?
Well, it's
That's
awful.
the worst thing.
Especially when you're got a big truck and towing a trailer and trying to go through that traffic. It's just awful.
Yeah.
But we put up with it, and that usually when we go that way, we'll do two or three parks in a row rather than just one park and come home. We want to make it worthwhile if we're going through Toronto.
Cool. I'm going to say we were talking about Samuel de Champlain, and if you
Right.
do go to Sammy D this year or next year, make sure you connect with this young lady right here, Adventures with Josie. She lives in that area, and she explores them areas by bike all the time. So I'm sure she could take you on a couple of nice little bike tours all around Sammy D that you would really enjoy.
Well, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially now that we have the e-bike, we can go a lot further on the bikes.
There you go.
Great.
There you go. Josie would have to pedal really hard to keep up to you, right? Cheryl, do you put a bungee cord from your bike to Ben's bike so he can keep up with you?
No, he's on his own. There's been too many years where he's been way ahead of me. It's we got to switch roles now. I'm ahead of him.
Yeah, no, I'm just sucking wind trying to keep up.
Yeah, cool. And where do you see your YouTube channel, like say in a year's time? Is it getting the kind of growth that you've been hoping for?
Yeah, we have a very limited audience base, really. It's not a worldwide thing. It's mostly for people that like to park or camp in provincial parks. So we got a limited base. So we know it's not going to get absolutely huge or anything. But what we're hoping is that we're the kind of the go-to place for people when they are thinking about going camping and they're wanting to do their research. We're hoping they go onto YouTube and they punch in like Bon Echo Provincial Park, and they see one of our videos and they say, oh, Camping with the Coles has a video there. And they kind of know what our content is. And then they'll go to that. Kind of be the place, the go-to place for people wanting to make reservations. That's what we're hoping, just to be a good resource.
Right. And any winter camping in your future?
We did
you got
that
a trailer,
years
it's got a
ago.
furnace, I'm sure.
Yeah, our trailer is a 3-season trailer, so it's not really meant for winter. But in the past, we have we've camped in yurts, and especially when the kids were younger, man, that was amazing.
It was good times.
Like Pinery has a tobogganing hill, skating rink at the bottom of the hill, a little chalet with a wood stove in there, snowshoeing and cross-country skiing, and then going down to the lake and seeing the big ice mountains and stuff. Kids absolutely love that sort of stuff. So it's a lot of fun to do. For us now, we don't have any kids to take with us. It just is a little less fun. So we don't bother to do the winter camping right now.
Sure.
Maybe if we get grandkids down the road.
Yeah, you know what? I've got one, and I'm trying to introduce him already, and he's only 14 months old, so it's never too soon. Yep, never.
I know our daughter Amy is listening, so
there you go, Amy. Get busy. No. My gosh, I had a question. I just had one of those old guy brain farts. Okay. So basically, for the future now, are you experiencing the channel growth that you think, though? I know you just said that you've got a limited audience, but you know what? You could take this whole idea of what you're doing even broader than Ontario Provincial Parks, right?
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
And we've had really good growth. Like we didn't set out to make a living out of this or anything, but like the first year, like in 2019, we had like a few hundred subscribers, and then by the end of like January 1st of 2021, we had 600 subscribers, and we're like, woohoo, we got up to 600 subscribers. But then a year later, we had over 3,600. So this past year, we got over 3,000 more, and that's really big for a little channel like us. Like we're really happy about that kind of growth. So I'm hoping it continues as more people discover us, and I think a lot of people are just gonna happen upon our videos when they are doing the park researches. They don't have to search us out. They'll just happen to see our videos when they research parks.
Sure thing. You're sitting at 3,900 right now. Congratulations on that. That's
thank you. Yeah, this latest video on the park reviews, that's going pretty fast for us.
Good stuff.
Or on the tips for booking reservation. Yeah.
Any videos coming down the pipe soon? Can we expect anything in the next little short bit?
Yeah, I'm working on one for a couple weeks from now. It's going to be on ticks and the problem with the ticks in Ontario. And it's a big problem, and we've had them on our dog. We've both had ticks on us, so it's a concern with Lyme disease. And so I've been doing a lot of research on that. I'm certainly not a doctor or anything, but I've been doing a lot of research on that, and we're going to be putting together a helpful video so people understand how to protect themselves from ticks and getting Lyme disease.
Yeah, Turkey Point was horrible for that.
Yeah, all those Lake Erie places. Yeah,
it really started in Lake Erie, Long Point and stuff. But the worst place we found recently was Pinery.
Whoa.
Pinery is just like, we love Pinery. It's one of our favorite parks. But the last couple of years, it is just full of ticks. And we were there on a windy day in the May 2-4, and they're like falling out of the trees and landing on us. And,
is that right?
Wow. Yeah, and it is, as long as you just get them off you before they latch on, it's not a problem. Or if they latch on, you want to get them off as soon as possible. But yeah, you should be aware of them and know how to protect yourself.
They still give you the creeps.
Oh yeah.
I can handle spiders and snakes and all the ticks. For some reason, they just give me the heat.
Well, the problem with the tick is you never know when they bite you, because
I know, right?
There's no redness, there's no itchiness. You don't feel a thing.
Yeah.
They're like a leech. They just sit there and just feed. Yeah.
Cool. So tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find us on YouTube at Camping with the Coles. That's where we are.
We'll be waiting.
Well, you got an Instagram account and a Facebook account as well, right?
Oh yeah, same thing. It's all Camping with the Coles on Instagram and Facebook. We're not really good with the social media stuff, but
if we haven't responded to you, no offense.
But when people do comments on Facebook and all of them, we read everybody's comments.
Yeah, we try and answer as many as possible.
Yeah, and we get a kick out of them too, because we're still a small channel, so we really don't get any trolls or anything. Everybody's very positive, and we like that. We love reading the comments, and we respond to a lot of questions being asked, and we don't mind answering them.
That's the nice thing about being a smaller channel. I too am like that. I have the ability right now, because I don't get a lot of comments, that I can actually respond to each and every single one of them. Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a smiley face or a thumbs up or a couple of paragraphs, whatever it might be. But it's nice that you can have that communication with the people that are watching, knowing that they're enjoying the content that you're putting out. Right?
They're a good bunch of people.
Yeah. Well, I commend you too. I thank you for being on the show, but you know what? Keep on doing what you're doing, because you've definitely found a niche. You've found something that people are interested in, and whether it's backcountry or front country camping, you're doing a good thing for the community out there and educating people and just making their research a little easier to accomplish, right? So
thank you.
Yeah, keep it up. Anyways, just going to wrap up the show for tonight. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with everybody before we do?
Good luck getting campsites, everyone.
Yeah.
And thank you for having us on the show. Like I said, we didn't know about you before this past week, but we're a subscriber now.
Too.
And
we're closer to 5,000. There we go.
Yeah, you were so close to 5,000, right?
I think I'm only about 50 out. So somewhere.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So people subscribe to this guy. Dennis, he's got to get to his 5,000.
Yeah, and at the same time, go over to Camping with the Coles and hit that red button, turn it gray, and hit that little bell notification, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and hit the like button, everybody. Stuff. Yeah, the like button is really important for your channel too. So
yeah, it really is. Hitting the like button, even leaving comments and stuff, that all helps the channel. And I love watching the analytics, because I get a real kick out of seeing how things go. That's kind of my thing.
That's your thing.
Yeah. And I keep telling her how we're doing, and she doesn't care.
I do care, but
excellent. Is there a chance you don't have a website, right?
No, we don't have a website. No.
Okay. I was going to say, if you made your schedule available to people where you're going to be, then people could come by your camp and visit you and bring you beer.
Another video.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you joining tonight. It's great getting to know a little bit more about your channel and yourselves, of course. Enjoy it out there. Get out there and enjoy that nature and keep the adventures alive, right?
That's right.
Thank you very much.
All righty. I'm just going to drop you in the basement, close up.
Thank you.
Don't go away because I like to see you, talk to you for a minute there in the green room.
Okay, we'll see you next week too.
Yes.
We'll be watching.
Thank you. Awesome. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Bye.
Yeah.
There we have it, people. I hope you all enjoyed it, meeting Ben and Cheryl. Like I say, I really enjoy. I'm a backcountry camper, but like, you know what, for the times that I do get out front country, it's really fun to learn about all the different things that Ontario parks have to offer. And what better way to find all that out than from people who get out there and enjoy it, live it, and they bring it to you through their videos. So by all means, check out Camping with the Coles. You'll find all their links in the description below. Very simply, just type in Camping with the Coles in your search, and you will find them with what they've got. Just in closing tonight, just want to thank everybody for joining in. If you haven't already done so, please hit that thumbs up, as it really does help the algorithms with YouTube to get us noticed. And if you haven't already done so and you see value in the show and you'd like to tune in a little more often, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Canoehounds Outdoor Adventure Show. You'll know exactly what's going on with the channel. I try to update it as often as possible. Next week, we have from the UK, Ben Goodwin is going to be our guest on the show. Going to be a very exciting show. He is like the Kevin Callan of the UK. Okay, he's a paddling instructor. Many really incredible trips over here on Canada's side he has done. So you'll want to really tune into that and learn a bit more about Ben Goodwin. And I think that's about it. Anyways, thanks very much for tuning in tonight. Remember, people, keep the adventures alive, and we'll see you next week.